Good morning. We're very happy to be with you this morning to share with you about seeking and saving the lost in Southeast Asia. So this morning we'll be sharing with you two different opportunities to help build God's kingdom. Save Asian Souls, which is the mission that my father started in 2015, and Philippine Mission, Casa Esperanza of Angels, the work that my wife and I started. Both these organizations are 501c3 organizations here in the U.S. So the photo on the left is my father. He is 88 years old this year. He is the founder of Save Asian Souls, and as I mentioned, my wife is with us this morning. I hope you already met her. Started Philippine Mission, Casa Esperanza of Angels. Both these mission efforts are under the oversight of the Red Bowling Springs Church of Christ in Red Bowling Springs, Tennessee. That is up close to the Kentucky line. So as I mentioned, my father is founder of Save Asian Souls. He is 88 this year. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's last year, so he is slowing down. But he is still working as he is able. But a lot of his time now is worked on physical and mental therapy to help combat the symptoms of that disease. We're very lucky that we have Jackie in place. Jackie is a graduate of the Memphis School of Preaching. Jackie worked with us in China, and now he lives and resides in Memphis and does the bulk of the day-to-day work for Save Asian Souls. He approves budgets for the Safe House. He does all the transfers of funds to keep them operational. When there's other problems or issues, he deals with those on a daily basis. So we're lucky to have Jackie handling the bulk of the day-to-day work. My father contacted me last year to ask me to begin reporting on his work as I traveled to report on my own, since he is not able to travel anymore, and asked me to be a backup leadership in the future as his health will inevitably continue to fail. So Save Asian Souls, the goal of Save Asian Souls is to find girls between the ages of 8 and 20 years old that are vulnerable or at risk of human trafficking, teach them the Bible as well as other secular and vocational training. How will we accomplish this goal? We will provide them with a safe place to live. We call this a safe house. We will give them secular or vocational training. We will also, of course, give them biblical training. In some instances, we will help them establish a business, and then we will follow up with them to see that they remain faithful in God's Word. So Save Asian Souls operates in 4 different countries: Laos, Thailand, Nepal, and the Philippines. So what are the problems that these girls are facing? One of the greatest is that of risk of human trafficking. The second problems that these girls face is lack of education and poverty. And I'll tell you in a few moments how these are intertwined. So the severity of the issue, of course, depending on where you get your statistics, you may find different numbers. These are all estimations because criminals do not report on their work. So these different organizations just estimate the numbers, but it is estimated that over 49 million people are involved in modern day slavery today. Child sex trafficking has been reported in all 50 U.S. states, and it is the second most profitable illegal business right here in the U.S. It is estimated that approximately 1.7 million children are exploited in sex trafficking every single year. And as I mentioned, it is a global problem. The average age of a human trafficking victim is only 12 to 14 years old. And as of today, it is estimated there are 27 million girls trapped in modern day slavery. Global issue, estimated that over 1 million people are trafficked every single year, 20 to 50,000 of them right here into the U.S. It is a very lucrative business because the human body is a great commodity. It can be bought and sold over and over again. It can be exploited over and over again. That's why Hope for Justice estimates this to be a $245 billion illegal business a year. Narcotics trafficking and human trafficking are often intertwined. The second problem that we had talked about was poverty and lack of education. So in Thailand, you may not think of Thailand as a poverty-stricken nation, but poverty is on the increase. Women are much more vulnerable to being trapped in poverty than men, and the demographic that is affected the worst is that of children. In Laos, it's estimated that 90% of the people live on $1.25 a day. You may have a dollar store right down the road, but I don't think any of us can live on $1.25 a day. I don't know how they do it. 44% of Lao children under the age of 5 are stunted, and more than 60% of the children are malnourished or anemic. Education is also scarce. It's estimated there are over 4,000 villages in Laos that lack access to education. There we go. In Nepal, 5 million people are malnourished. Nepal also suffers from a lot of natural disasters, especially earthquakes. The Nepalese government is corrupt, so that is surely not helping people climb out of poverty. For every 1,000 babies born in Nepal, it is estimated that 35 of them will die before the age of 5. Lack of advanced farming methods also keep these people trapped in poverty. For the Philippines, it's estimated over 17 million people fall below the poverty line. The Philippines suffers from more natural disasters than any country in the world. We have active volcanoes, we have earthquakes, we have typhoons that come through every year, we have flooding. Just about everything you can think of happens on a daily basis in the Philippines. For every 1,000 babies born, it is estimated that 28 of them will die before the age of 5. And over 64% of the households struggle for food on a daily basis, not quite sure where their next meal will come from. So you can see that poverty is part of this issue in Southeast Asia. And how are these intertwined? It's because people in poverty want out. They are desperate to get out of poverty, and they will look for every and single opportunity they can to get out of poverty. So recruiters prey on them. They are less educated and they are poor, and the recruiters for human traffickers prey on these people because they know they are desperate people. They will come to them and say, we have a great job for you in Hong Kong. We have a good job for you in Singapore. You're going to marry a foreigner. You're going to be rich. You'll never have to worry about money again in your life. And they jump at these opportunities not knowing these are cons, these are tricks, these are lies. Once they reach their destination country, their passports are stolen from them. They have no way to even get back home. They are now a slave for whatever these people want them to do. So that's why they prey on these people that are stuck in this situation. So in Thailand, we have 3 safe houses, 26 girls, and 10 of those are Christians. This is our Chiang Mai location in Thailand. You can see the top right photo. We basically look for homes or houses that already exist, renovate or remodel them to suit our needs, and then house the girls in these homes. You can see the girls there having a meal, and some of the younger ones running home from school. A few more pictures from this location, helping in the kitchen with their house mother, playing and cleaning. We also have a location in Mukdahan, Thailand. Actually, you can see Jackie there. He visited all our safe houses not too long ago. We also do poultry farming at this location. This is Udon in Thailand. Jackie once again having a meal with the girls at this location. So in Laos, we have 4 safe houses, 31 girls and 24 Christians. This is our newest safe house that is just finishing up construction now. Actually, there was a home there, but it was in such poor condition that we needed to start over. This is north central Laos. If you know anything about geography, you'll know that Myanmar is to the northwest of Thailand and Laos, and it is rampant with human trafficking, not only for the sex trade industry, but all kinds of online scams and all kinds of things. But a lot of people are trafficked out of that country into Thailand and Laos. Some photos from our Laos locations. You'll notice the girls there sitting on the floor to have a meal, and you may see actually tables in the back corner. Why are they not using tables? This is just a custom in many of these Southeast Asian countries that they do everything on the floor. They eat, they do everything while sitting on the floor, so this is not unusual. A couple of photos here of the girls involved in Bible studies and singing practice. Here's some photos of baptisms in Laos. It looks like a very large trash can, but we're very resourceful to use whatever is available to save these girls. In Nepal, we have 20 safe houses, 179 girls, and 102 Christians. You may say, wow, that's a lot of safe houses in Nepal. It is because many of them are what we call mini safe houses. It may be a safe house under the oversight of a minister or a preacher that only has 5 or 6 girls. The Nepalese government is aware that we are there, but we just don't wave a red flag. We try to keep a low profile, so that's why there's so many smaller safe houses in Nepal. The Westbury Church of Christ in Houston, Texas is very active in the work. They provided funds for a clothing drive for the girls, and you can see them there in their new clothing. Here's just some photos of worship services and Bible studies. We are also involved in building a church in Nepal. This is not normally part of our mission efforts, but the folks that were meeting in this location were actually meeting in the barn of a farmer, and he decided that he wanted his barn back. However, he did donate some land so that we could build a building, so we feel it's important to help these folks so they have a place to worship. Also, this is important for our girls. They attend Bible studies, of course, at the worship services at the local congregations, but they also go to gospel meetings if there's one in the nearby area. And of course, once they finish our programs, they'll need a place to worship. So we feel it's important to help in this way. In the Philippines, we have one safe house, 14 girls and 10 Christians, and just a couple of photos at our girls at the Philippine location, gardening and helping in the kitchen. But we'll tell you more about the Philippines in a moment. The girls, of course, are involved in Bible studies at the safe houses and local churches as much as possible. Here's some photos of baptisms. We've already given you the numbers for baptisms in the different locations. The girls are issued their own personal Bible and encouraged to read and study that on a daily basis. When they're not in school or studying in their vocational training, they do have other activities such as crafting, gardening, and birthday parties for girls that are celebrating a birthday. As far as sustainability efforts, as I mentioned, they do gardening where they have the space and the climate is conducive for that. They also do growing mushrooms, and we have a farm in Laos that produces food for some of the safe houses near that location. In Nepal, we have a tailoring school. It is a 2-year program for the girls. This is our current set of 6 girls that are in the program. They actually made the dresses that they are wearing. So they learn to measure and make a pattern, and then of course sew the clothes. And so they're practicing their trade. They're actually making clothes for the younger girls at the safe houses now as they learn to practice their trade. So if they complete this 2-year program and graduate, we provide them with a sewing machine and all the materials they need to set up a seamstress business. Then for 3 months, we continue to sort that business to get it off the ground to make sure it's fully functional and operational. So once they have their own business, they have their own income, they become much less vulnerable to human traffickers. They no longer need to seek work outside their home country. They have their work right there for them. I'd like to tell you quickly about a success story. So this is Kumari. You can see the photo on the left, 2017, before she came to one of our safe houses. And then she completed our 2-year program. We set her up with a seamstress business, which is up and running. And now she has a baby boy. She is married. And her husband is enrolled in the Himalayan Bible Institute for a 2-year Bible education program. So this is just one of many of our success stories of a girl who has made it through the program. So we also do public education and disaster relief efforts. We go to these impoverished villages and try to educate them about these human trafficking recruiters, what they're trying to do, the fact that many of the things that they're telling them are lies or tricks or cons, and so that they're aware of this when they come to their village. Of course, when people suffer natural disasters, we try to help them out with food, clothing, blankets, other things like that in those areas. So how can you as a congregation or individual help? You can make a donation. You can sponsor a girl at one of our locations. You can spread the word to others who might be interested in helping this work. You can, of course, each and every day pray for the girls in our safe houses. If you were to want to travel overseas for a short time, you can be a Bible instructor or teach English using the Bible. This is the contact information for Save Asian Souls, but don't think you have to remember any of this, because I'll tell you how you can have that information to take home with you in a few moments. So Philippine Mission, Casa Esperanza of Angels, is the work that my wife and I started in the Philippines. We're incorporated here in the U.S. under the name of Philippine Mission. We're incorporated in the Philippines under the name of Casa Esperanza of Angels. Casa is house or home. Esperanza is hope. So house, hope of angels, angels being the children that we have at our residential care facility. So our mission is to seek and save the lost through 2 avenues: the residential care, teaching of orphaned, abandoned, abused, and neglected children, and outreach and evangelism to the community there around us. So in 2016, we purchased a 2-hectare piece of property. It was all sugarcane. The trees that you see in the distant palm trees are actually on the next property, right on the property line. behind us. So not a single tree on the property. We harvested all the sugar cane and then began construction. You can see by 2017 we have half the enclosure wall built, and the first children's home is under construction. This Google Earth from 2023, starting from the right, you can see our guardhouse at the entrance. Our tent, which was the white roof there, is a temporary structure. It's no longer there. For a while, we met in an 18 by 36 tent for our worship services, Bible studies, and everything. But our CEA Learning Center is now complete. I'll show you some recent photos of that. We have a playground because, of course, kids love to play. We have 2 children's homes that are built and fully functional. We have our laundry house where our house mothers can do large loads of laundry, linens, towels, that kind of thing. We have our staff and visitor housing that is under construction at this time. Our director's living quarters where my wife and I reside about 8 months out of the year, and a large part of the rest of our property is dedicated to our food production that we'll tell you about. So this is our CEA Learning Center. It was completed just this last year. As I mentioned before, we were in just an 18 by 36 tent, which was getting quite crowded for us. We're very blessed with this building. It has a large multifunction room. You can see it there on the left during a worship service. On the right is a photo of our kids enjoying their snacks for Vacation Bible School last year. So last year, because of this new building, was the first year that we're able to have our Vacation Bible School. And so we're very blessed with this building, and we will continue that each and every year. So as I mentioned, we have a multi-purpose room. Anything that happens as a group happens there. Our worship services, our Bible studies, we do tutorials for our kids. We have birthday parties for them. We do movie nights for our kids because they do not have a phone. We do not provide our kids with phones because we don't like them on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff all day long. We prefer them to focus and not have those distractions in their life. So everything that happens as a group, of course, happens in our multifunction room. We also have a computer lab and library. All our kids are enrolled in public schools, so of course they have homework, projects, and those kinds of things that this benefits them from. So we also have our social workers office. We are required by law to have licensed social workers. They do all our admissions of children, our discharges. If we have a discharge, they keep up with all the paperwork for the kids, their birth certificates, school records, all those things. They also do a lot of reporting to the government and also to myself as the director. So they're quite busy. We also have a clinic in this building. It is not fully functional, but we're working on that. It also has isolation rooms for boys and girls on either side of the clinic in case we have a child with a contagious illness. So imagine a home with 20 kids. If one gets sick, all of them get sick, and probably the staff as well. So if we have a child with something contagious, we can isolate them for a few days before returning them to their home. This is our staff and visitor housing. It is under construction. It has 6 separate housing units in this building. Most of it is for our staff because our staff stay on the property 24 hours a day. We're caring for children 24/7. They only go home or leave the property on their days off. So we need additional housing for our staff, and also we'll have some space in this building for overseas guests. Perhaps you would like to visit us and you can perhaps stay on the property. As I mentioned, we are fully licensed and registered with the government. The Philippine government is very happy for us to be there, provided we comply with all their rules and regulations, which are quite extensive. But we do our very best. We are able to teach the Bible freely. There are no restrictions on us teaching the Bible, which is a huge blessing for our mission efforts. The house on the right is our House of Hope, completed in 2018. It is our boys' home, has a maximum capacity of 16 boys. Our girls' home on the left was completed in 2020. That was financed by Save Asian Souls as our part of combating human trafficking. And the Save Asian Souls does sponsor some of the girls in that home. That home has a maximum capacity of 24 girls. The houses are the exact same size but have a different floor plan. That's why the different numbers. So we accept a wide range of children from the ages of 3 to 14 into our facility, but we will keep them all the way through college, vocational school, whatever it is they would like to learn, in hopes that once they complete that course of study, they can be self-sufficient, leave our facility, and start their own lives. Orphans are quite rare in reality that have lost both a mother and father and don't have someone else to care for them. So we accept children from a wide range of situations. We accept children that we consider abandoned. It's quite quite common in the Philippines for people to travel outside their hometown or even outside the country looking for work. Jobs are scarce in the Philippines and they do not pay very well. So if you have a college education and you want a decent salary, you probably will end up overseas. There are hundreds of thousands of Filipinos all over the world working and sending money back home. Unfortunately, these people often set up a new family or life somewhere else where they have found work, and they do not return home, leaving children behind. So often these children are left with a grandparent, aunt, uncle, something like this, and these people are not prepared financially or physically to raise these children. So we end up with a lot of children that we consider abandoned. We also take children that we consider neglected. Let's be honest, not every parent is a good parent. Sometimes children are neglected. We take children from that situation. We also take abused children, whether it's physically, mentally, or sexually, provided they do not have an active court case. If the court case has been resolved, then we will accept them. We take children from extreme poverty. We've already talked about poverty in the Philippines. It's quite rampant, especially in the rural mountainous areas. It's not uncommon for a family to have 6 or 8 children. They can barely feed themselves, much less 6 or 8 children. They cannot send them to school. They cannot take them to the doctor or the dentist. They can barely feed them. They cannot even help them with their schoolwork if they were in school, because they're probably never finished even high school. So we take children from that situation. We also take children from high-risk situations. This may be a child whose family is involved in an illegal drug trade, or there's risk of rape for a girl. We actually have children from all of these categories at our facility. So at current time, we have 29 children in our care. You can see our beautiful young ladies and handsome young men in these photos here. So these are the homes that our children come from. These are their actual homes. These are homes put together with pieces of cocoa wood, weaved palm fronds, corrugated metal, plywood, rice sacks, anything that they can find to try and construct a home. Most all of these are probably squatters. They do not own the land that they are on. They simply build a house in a remote area and hope that they can stay there for a long time. None of them have running water, so if they want water, they have to find a water source and haul it back to their house. And very few of these homes will have any electricity, maybe just a light bulb. They're not going to have appliances like you enjoy in your home, air conditioning, dishwasher, dryer, any of those things they will not have. In fact, most of them will not have any furniture at all in their home. They will do everything on their bamboo slat floors. They will just sit on the floor, they will sleep on the floor, everything, because they cannot afford that kind of thing. So if you look at the home on the left there, you can see they've even cut rice sacks and are pretending that is a wall. We have 2 children from this home, but this is a home with 5 children, I think. 5 children are being raised in this home. The father works, but it's barely enough to feed him and his wife, much less any of these children, and the wife suffers from mental illness. So this is very extremely difficult situations to climb out of. It's hard to climb out of this poverty. The poverty cycle just continues. They get married at a young age, they have children, they did not finish an education, they have very low income, so the cycle just continues. So this is the cycle that we're trying to break. So at current time, we have 17 elementary school students and 12 high school students. You can see them there in their uniforms ready for school. So many of our kids come to us many years behind in their schooling. Perhaps they missed years, or they just were not very diligent in their schoolwork, so they're behind. They come to us barely able to read or comprehend reading. They did not do math very well, so we spend a lot of time in tutorials and trying to bring them up to the level that they're supposed to be at for their age. And we encourage them, and we're very proud of them because many of them have reached honor student status and are now receiving academic recognition in their schools. So we're very proud of these kids. So in 2018, we of course started with a skeleton crew of only 5 people, and by this year, 2025, we have 15 full-time staff. We are required by law to keep a certain ratio of staff to children. That is a requirement being a registered and licensed facility. Brother Dennis Bello is our full-time minister. He's quite busy. He of course does our worship services and Bible studies. We are the only non-instrumental Church of Christ in Tanhai City, a city of about 80,000 people. Incidentally, Negros, the island that we are on, has a population of 1.6 million. So Dennis really has his work cut out for him. We do have established a congregation there on the property. It is open to the public to come in, and we do have people that come into our worship services. Dennis also does Bible studies with our kids throughout the week in their homes, and especially on Saturday mornings he does boys and girls Bible studies, as well as song practice with our kids. When he's not on there at the facility, he's out in the community doing door knocking, trying to set up Bible studies and encouraging people to come to work. Baptisms are, of course, the core initiative of our mission efforts. In 2020, we had 3 baptisms. In 2021, 6 baptisms. In 2022, 3 baptisms. And we were very blessed in 2024 that we had 14 baptisms. I want you to understand that we're not just baptizing kids for numbers so that we can give you a large number. We spend a lot of time teaching these children. So that's probably why in 2014 we had so many, because we've been teaching them the years before. We plant the seed and we wait for God to give the increase. And we're doing our very best. Of course, baptisms are wonderful, but we're trying to build leaders in the church. We need leaders in the Philippines especially. Many churches do not have elders or deacons, so we need to be building up the leadership for the church. So our baptized boys are learning to lead prayers during worship service. Of course, they're also serving on the Lord's table. And some of our older boys are also learning how to do song leading and prepare and deliver devotional messages at our Wednesday nights. So we're really focusing on these children that have a gift for this, interest in this, that we can build leaders in the church. Of course, our girls are equally important. My wife does a Bible study with our girls every Saturday morning to teach them things that are important to young ladies, how to choose a mate, really important thing in life, but also the woman's role in the home and in the church. So she does that with our girls every Saturday morning. And as I mentioned earlier, Dennis also does song practice with all our children every Saturday morning. They're very good at singing. They love to do it, and they pick up songs very, very quickly. When they're not at school, of course, our kids have spring break, Christmas break, all those things that children here in the U.S. have. We keep them very, very busy, so we do a lot of activities for them. They love sports, so we do sports fest. We do, of course, tutorials. We do crafting. They love to make things for their home, hot pad holders, rugs, and things for their home. We do variety shows where they get a chance to show off whatever talent they think they have. It's a good opportunity for them to learn self-esteem and confidence in getting up in front of a group. We do team building, scavenger hunts, all kinds of things for these children to keep them busy. So as I mentioned earlier, this last year was our first Vacation Bible School. You can see the photos here. We're very blessed this year that we have 9 adults coming from the Creekside Church of Christ in Greenville, Texas. They'll be coming the first week of June to help us with our 2025 Vacation Bible School. So we're very excited about that group coming and helping us with our 2025 Vacation Bible School. We have our own sustainability program there on the property. Our kids are actively involved. They have their own chores to do in the house, of course, sweeping, mopping, helping with cooking and cleaning dishes, that kind of thing. But they also help in the gardens as part of their chores. So you can see them actively weeding in the garden, and our boys on the right are sifting our compost. We do all our own composting there on the property. These are photos. These are not stolen off the internet. These are actual photos of things that we've grown on the property. So we're lucky that we're in a tropical climate, so we can grow things year round. We have a wide variety of banana trees, pineapple, mango, papaya, all kinds of fruits, some you've never even heard of. And of course, we get vegetables from our vegetable garden on a daily basis. We're also raising poultry. We've been raising geese for several years now. And we also this last year repurposed our 18 by 36 tent into a chicken coop, and are now raising chickens. Right now we're raising chickens for meat, but eventually we'll also be raising them for eggs. Our older boys are learning how to manage our animals, so it's another responsibility and thing that they're learning under the oversight of some of our staff. We're also slowly digging a pond in hopes that we can raise fish on the property as well in the future. Reaching out has been a part of our work ever since the very beginning, even before we had a facility at all. Back in 2016, we had just purchased the property, but we're already reaching out to the communities there around the impoverished communities. We normally find an impoverished community, we provide them with a meal, we provide the children with clothes, flip-flops, sometimes little toys, sometimes hygiene products. We find children that don't even own a toothbrush. So we help these kids out with some of their hygiene products as well as feeding them and providing other things. And then we put together a grocery pack for each family. And in that grocery pack, we'll put in Bible tracts, and then Dennis can follow up with them later to try and set up Bible studies. So we've been doing this ever since the beginning of our work. In 2021, we had Typhoon Odette come through the Philippines, one of many that come through every single year. This was very close to our property. We did have some damage and flooding, but not extensive. There is a squatter village just across the road from us with those makeshift homes that I showed you earlier. One of the homes collapsed on a man. He was killed, but these people were really struggling after the storm. So we put together a meal for them, and then we put together grocery packs. If you'll look the photo on the extreme left, it's our children that are handing them their grocery packs. So even though our children come from this exact same kind of poverty, these same kind of homes, we're trying to teach them that with whatever little bit they have, they can help others and show God's love. We also do giveaways every year. This year we did one in 2020, in February of this year. We helped 7 families. So we take our clothing that we can no longer use. Sometimes we get donated clothing that's not well received for our children. We may receive adult clothes when we don't really need adult clothes. Sometimes people give us lots of toys that we can't really use. And we also take our old bedding, our mattresses and pillows as they begin to deteriorate past our standards, and we give these away to impoverished people around us. And even though these things are secondhand, they are used, they're very, very happy to have them because they're struggling just for these basic necessities on a day-to-day basis. So how can you as an individual or as a congregation help? We ask for $35 a month to sponsor a child for Philippine Mission. That's only $420 a year. That's a very, very small price to pay to bring a child out of poverty, teach them secular teaching that they can be successful in this life. But of course, the bottom line in everything we do is teach them about God and hope that they can develop that relationship with God and have that hope of heaven one day. So $420 a year is nothing to help a child in this way. We of course accept donations in any amount. You may say, "Sir, I can't sponsor a child. I'm struggling financially on my own," but perhaps you have a few dollars you'll be willing to donate. Every little bit helps. It all adds up. So don't think that you cannot participate. We of course love monthly and quarterly donations. Then we know how much is coming in, can budget our money more effectively. We also accept stocks. We have a donor in Lebanon, Tennessee that has donated stocks that continues to make money for us. And something nobody likes to talk about, but we're all leaving this earth one day. Perhaps you would like to leave a legacy donation in your will. You're able to do that. We have our own Facebook and website. Our website, you can go there and find out more about our programs and services and businesses, and history. You can find out a lot of information there. We post on Facebook quite frequently, so if you're on Facebook, check out our Facebook page. We post almost weekly. You can see what's going on at the facility. You can always contact me by email, my personal email. Lucky for you, you don't have to remember any of this information because in the foyer, my wife has set up a display. After the service this morning, we hope that you have a few moments to look at the photos in the display, but there's also sign-up sheets there. You can sign up for our monthly newsletter. You can sign up to sponsor a girl for Save Asian Souls or Philippine Mission. You can also sign up to receive our newsletter. I may have mentioned that already. So there's a sign-up sheet back there for those 2 items. There's also brochures on the table for Save Asian Souls as well as Philippine Mission. Pick up a brochure and take that home because on the back of the brochure is all our contact information, websites, phone numbers, emails, Facebook page, all that stuff. So you don't have to remember any of that. You can take that home with you and you'll have it readily available for you. We're very thankful for your time this morning to share with you about these 2 mission efforts. We hope that you're encouraged about the work that's going on in Southeast Asia, and maybe perhaps you would like to be a part of that work as well. We're very thankful for your time this morning to share with you about these mission efforts.